classroom, class. You're listening.
All right, so once again, my name's Lizzie. Welcome to the Houston Zoo. This is Turok. This is our adult male clouded leopard. So Turok has lived here for a couple of years. He is almost 4.5 years old, and he was a parent not too long ago. His kids are nice and grown, and they've moved on to their zoos. But Turok and Saksun, who is the female that he lives with, were the first ever clouded leopards to have kids here. So they're a really, really important part of our program. You can see he's an absolutely beautiful cat. He weighs around 60 pounds, so he's not too big, but he's quite a bit larger than Saksun. Saksun is around 35 pounds, so you can see that they've got a pretty big difference between the male and female. So if you look at Turok, clouded leopards, we'll talk about their physical appearance a little bit. If you look, he's got some short legs, and he's got a pretty big body, and he's got a really long, heavy tail. Now, all of these things are tools for him that help him adapt to being able to find prey items from the trees. So these guys are primarily arboreal species. They spend a lot of time hunting and climbing in the trees, and all of those things help him stay nice and safe while he's climbing. So the short legs keep his center of gravity nice and low. His big, thick tail, he can swish around kind of like a guy on a tightrope, help keep his balance. He can use that as well. And then another really cool thing about clouded leopards is that their radius and ulna, which are bones in their wrists, are not fused, so they can move around. And that means that he can rotate his wrist almost 180 degrees, so he can climb straight up a tree and straight back down without actually turning his body around. So that's pretty cool, and that's pretty unusual for a cat. Now, Turok is doing a great job showing him one of his other really cool features, which is going to be his canine teeth. So when he opens his mouth, you'll see he's got really, really big canines. These guys actually have the largest ratio of tooth to skull size out of any cat species. So his canine teeth are almost the size as a full-grown tiger. So really, really big. Now these guys are kind of a weird in-between of a small cat and a big cat. They've got some interesting features that kind of are both. They can't roar like a true big cat, like a tiger, but they also can't purr either. He does kind of like a chirping noise, so he's kind of an in-between. His eye pupils are actually kind of an in-between as well. When you think of a small cat, like the cats many of you may have at home, they're going to be kind of like a slit, whereas if you look right into the eyes of a lion, you'll know they're a big circle. His are actually going to be kind of more like an almond shape, so it's kind of an in-between of a big cat and a small cat, which is pretty much what he is.
It looks like he's hungry.
No, he's not hungry. He's just asking for some attention. So these guys are not true leopards. It was a misnomer. They're not part of the genus Panthera, which is what a true leopard belongs to. Probably because of his spotted appearance is where he got that name from. But he's called a clouded leopard because of that beautiful shapes that comes out of his coat. They kind of look like clouds, help keep him nice and camouflaged. These guys are native to Southeast Asia. Technically, we do not have a population estimate on them because these guys are very good at hiding and staying well hidden. Although scientists do believe that they are endangered because a lot of the other populations of species that share their home are endangered in that area as well. And one of the biggest threats that these guys face is going to be habitat loss because of the palm oil industry. Big industries are going in and they're actually scorching or burning hundreds of thousands of miles of rainforest, and then they're planting African palm trees. Not only is it not a sustainable farming practice, which means it kind of ruins the land, but it also takes away these guys' home. So they either lose their home completely or it pushes them into urban areas and they end up sharing a home with people, which doesn't really end well for carnivores. So the biggest message that we always like to give our guests when we do talk about clouded leopards is that maybe talk to your parents, and when y'all go to the grocery store, there's a couple different tools that y'all can use to make sure that the products that y'all are buying are made with palm oil that's either been sustainably farmed or doesn't have palm oil in it at all. So there's actually some pretty cool apps out there that will directly scan the barcode on a product and tell you whether or not it's sustainably farmed. And then the Houston Zoo actually on our website has a red, yellow, and green list. So green is going to be companies that are doing great. They've listened to our concerns. Yellow's improving, they're on their way, and then red still has a lot of progress to make. So that's a great tool as well. Do y'all have any questions? I'm kind of rambling.